Hands, how many of you guys use Skype? I should have asked how many don't. So think about that when you give a huge round of applause for the next speaker, Meelik Gornoi, who's from Skype, and he's going to be talking about the past, the present, and the future.
So me and Meelik are the only ones getting in the way of your lunch. And if you remember Clint Eastwood in that movie Gran Torino, when he says, when he's an old grumpy guy saying, "Get off of my lawn." So next time Vuxen does this, I'll be the one saying, "Get off of my stage." Our next speaker comes from Estonia. It's a tiny country, 1.3 million inhabitants. It's twice the size of Montenegro. So it's an indication that you can make a huge hit coming from a tiny country. Actually, last year, it was Skype's 10th birthday. So please, let's all congratulate it by saying happy birthday, Skype. Skype is one of those companies that's making our lives better, and when I say better, I mean each one of you. And Meelik's been in Skype from day one. And when I say day one, he says, well, I'm technically not from day one, it's technically day 100. But if it's their 10th birthday and you've been here from day 100, then this means that you are there from day one, don't worry. Meelik now leads a team of 60 people in Skype. He's a tech promoter and startup mentor in Estonia, and he'll deliver a speech on Skype, the past, present, and the future. Give it up for Meelik.
Thank you. You have a beautiful conference here and beautiful people, so it's my pleasure to be over here. Thank you. Do I have clicker? I do. So actually, let me start with a story. So when the organizers approached me in the spring to come to speak to the SparkMe conference, I was a bit puzzled. So yeah, SparkMe is mostly towards the startups, and Skype, I think, yes, Skype has already grown up, matured, and now being part of Microsoft, actually enjoying its corporate culture. But yeah, if you look at the S-curve, maybe, yeah, you remember the S-curve, then Skype definitely has already got to the late adopters phase, and we are like getting the last people who are yet using Skype to actually use Skype. So we are becoming the commodity, and as I saw the hands over here, then yes, most of you seems to be using Skype, if not all. But then I actually realized that yes, it's Skype's 10th birthday, and we are actually still a very young company. And it's a perfect time to look back, reflect, and think that what we have achieved actually over those 10 years. And that's what I tried to do together with you today. And this is where actually Steve just left me to tell you one great story, the story of Skype so far. Skype was founded in Estonia. So the very first code was actually committed in 1st of April, 10 years ago then. And it was founded in a Soviet era style block of houses apartment. So this is where 4 Estonians, 1 Swedish guy and 1 Danish guy got together and decided to found Skype. They had done together already Gaza, so you probably have heard about it, and they were thinking of how to use the same technology to create something new and to actually make a world a better place to live at. So the very first Skype release was actually on the 29th of August 2003. And it immediately got lots of attention, and it got downloaded millions of times within first couple of months. So it was incredible start for Skype. In the beginning, actually, the first build only had calling functionality and one-to-one chatting, so not much, but still, I think after this, Skype was the world was never the same after the Skype launch. So within a year, actually, Skype already managed to have more than 2 billion minutes served all around the world. So within a year, we got to this great milestone. And of course, this Skype's success didn't stay unnoticed, and lots of big companies were actually thinking that this is what we do is really great, and finally, after two years actually, after Skype was founded, then eBay decided to buy Skype with I think it was $4.5 billion, which was enormous sum for a company that was only 2 years old. Despite this eBay acquisition, in January next year, Skype launched video calling. And this is the moment where the world actually got much closer than it used to be. So Skype changed the notion of distance, that the people who used to be far away from us were suddenly so close, and we could see them from our computers just next to us. And of course, this was still the time when broadband wasn't that mainstream, and the first Skype video version and codec only supported very, very small video, and it was probably as pixelated as this screen over here. But over the times we have iterated a lot, and nowadays Skype video actually supports high definition video, and this is, if you have good connection with the other party, of course, you can see crystal clear image. The long-awaited synergy with eBay was never actually there, and we had lots of commonalities with PayPal. So even right now, I think PayPal serves most of Skype's paid services, so how to get the money to your account. But with eBay, this synergy wasn't really there. And that's why private investors, Silver Lake with partners, actually decided to buy Skype back from eBay. And Skype went as a private company again and started to prepare for the IPO. At the same time, 3 years ago, we actually launched group video calling. So instead of just having one-to-one calls with you between people, you could now have up to 5 people conference calls with video. So this is also a great improvement. And as many of the Skype features actually started from our own needs, that we felt inside the company that we need this feature, and we just built it for us, and then released it to the market as well. So it's a good example of market or the need-driven development and how to build things that you really see needed for. But then instead of going public and doing the IPO, Microsoft decided to buy Skype. So this was now the third acquisition during those 10 years. And even though Microsoft had its own messaging service called Live Messenger, then Live Messenger's usage was definitely going down already at that time, and Skype was still actively growing. So it was like a natural decision that April this year we actually deprecated the Live Messenger, and all the users were migrated over to use Skype. And this is where we are now, our first decade. And it's definitely not the last one. So the growth continues. There are more and more people using Skype, and we are enjoying still a good vibe within Microsoft as well. So where have those 10 years actually brought Skype in numbers? 1/3 of all the international voice calls are done these days over Skype. So we have thousands of players on the market, but Skype is clearly with the biggest market share. And this is enormous. So every third call in the world is made over Skype rather than over traditional phone calls or over mobile phones. So this is the international calls, not the local ones. We have 300 million active users. So to put it into context, then this is actually twice as much as Twitter does, or twice as much as LinkedIn does. And though unfortunately Facebook passed us a couple of years back, but they are not that far ahead of us. And while to get to the first 2 billion of minutes took us a bit more than a year, then nowadays we are actually serving 2 billion calling minutes every day. So this is, for me, it's actually unimaginable. All those numbers and all this growth and success for such a young company. But nevertheless, Skype has been criticized recent years on like lack of innovation and lack of mobile support. So those are the areas where we have been struggling a bit. When Skype was founded 10 years ago, then all the technologies were totally different than they are nowadays. So there wasn't that good broadband available. There weren't cloud services weren't that popular yet, or only were starting at that time probably. So Skype was built purely on peer-to-peer technology, which enabled us very quick growth. So every additional user costed us basically zero. So we didn't need to have our own expensive servers to actually handle this huge load. And this enabled us to quickly grow. But now the world has definitely changed. So we have, most of our lives have gone into mobile phones or tablets, and we don't use that much of desktop computers anymore. And that means that the technologies that Skype used needed to be changed as well in order to actually accommodate the mobile needs, for example, where the battery life is critical and you don't always have the bandwidth available that much as you would like to. And also being always online, always connected, and sending the push notifications was something that Skype needed to develop. So yeah, even though maybe there hasn't been that much user or directly user-focused innovation in recent years, then we definitely have done lots of things in the background, and we continue doing those things. So one good example is actually where Skype has always been the best is the audio-video quality. So this is really where Skype is the market leader and is setting the standards and is setting the trends where to move. And as mentioned, then yes, we needed to change our underlying technologies, and we are nowadays moving towards web technologies, having the REST APIs where to build our services upon to. And this has already showed the improvements in how people perceive Skype on mobile phones as well. So while a couple of years back we definitely were really struggling on the being on mobiles, then nowadays it has got much better, and I think Skype is already usable in there as well. Another change that we are going through is moving lots of our services into Azure backend. So this is where Microsoft is actually helping us a lot and enabling us to build those services. Also, Skype has benefited some of these services that Line Messenger was building before. So MSNP protocol is one of those things. And that enables Skype to use the Line Messenger backend for actually syncing your chat messages, for enabling you to use Skype chat in different devices so that you have the unified history, unified experience in all the different platforms. And also we are moving over to use a lot Microsoft account, which was also known before as a live ID. You can already right now actually log into Skype with your Microsoft account if you have it. And in the future it definitely enables us to tie lots of offers that Microsoft has with the Skype ones. And one other change that Skype is going through is the interoperability with Link. So Link is the messaging and video service that Microsoft has for big businesses. And in order you to have only one username and only one experience, then we are looking for ways how to tie this Skype and Link experience and have enable you to actually call from your Skype account, from your Skype client to somebody who is in Link and the other way around. So what have we actually learned over those years? And a couple of points that I have as a message to you as well. So first of all, focus. Focus on the things that you do the best. Focus on the things that you are a market leader. Do those things better than anybody else, and no doubt that you will have your passionate users that will then also give the passion away to the neighbors, to the friends, to the co-workers, and that's how you build the user base. So focus on your strengths. Then the other topic that has been mentioned a lot already over the past 2 days over here is the failing fast or making those mistakes. I would say that it's not only about like failing as a company, but rather you should go out with your ideas as quickly as possible. Get feedback from your users, from your customers, and then iterate on this. So nobody gets all the things right from the beginning, but it's important to listen to your customers and learn from those mistakes that you do and build like a next version on top of it. So being agile and being able to quickly adjust and iterate if there is a need. And last but not least, my message to you would be to actually have fun. So as Steve also mentioned, then there isn't any more work-life balance, but your work actually is your life. And that's why you need to have fun in whatever you do. So it's just not about doing work, but actually having fun in your workplace and having your co-workers as your friends with whom you could go to the war if necessary. The having fun piece is what actually builds the team and what creates the company culture and what creates the atmosphere that where everybody would like to work at. And I think in Skype early days, this was something we did a lot. So we had those hard working days, but yes, we also knew how to relax and have some fun together. And yeah, if you know the pool party emoticon in Skype, then this actually came after one of those Skype company events where, yes, we had a pool party. So, yeah, thank you. And I'm open to any of the questions.
Thank you, Meelik, for the wonderful presentation. So Skype was founded, and just after 2 years, eBay acquired it. And then after 4 years, you go private. And then after 2 years, Microsoft acquires you. So in these 10 years, there's been some huge transformations. What interests me the most, and a lot of the guys on Twitter, is the changes in organizational culture in these 10 years.
Yeah, luckily, as I just mentioned, then the Skype company culture has always been so strong that we have survived all those acquisitions and takeovers very well, and we have always kept our own unique Skype culture. So of course there always are some corporate things that come from the big companies, and yeah, definitely there are some processes right now that...
When you say some things, you mean as in some horrible things?
No, not horrible, but for example, how we purchase hardware, for example, is definitely different than it was in early days than it is right now under Microsoft. So yeah, in early days we just went to the shop, bought our servers, installed those ourselves, and everything was yeah, hopefully fine. But nowadays yeah, Microsoft has its own dealers, and it's much more controlled environment, and yeah, definitely there are other corporate rules that have gone now with Microsoft, but it's still the Skype's like agile environment and this passion of being a young company that's over there, and that's why it's still fun to work in Skype.
Okay, you said there was no synergy with eBay. Is there synergy with Microsoft? And you can answer clearly, it's not like anyone's tweeting or something. Feel free to trash Steve Ballmer.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, definitely there is much more synergy with Microsoft. So you definitely, well, hopefully have already heard that Skype is built into Outlook.com, so you can make video calls directly from your email account. So you can call to other Outlook.com users or other Skype users out there. So it is definitely live now in United States and in UK, and I think we should enable the rest of the world still throughout this year. So this is just one example of a synergy, and I think there are lots of other places where we could yeah, to work together with other Microsoft products. So yeah, another example is actually the Bing search, so that if you search a company and they have...
Bing what?
yeah. It's getting better. So
show of hands. Who in the room uses Bing? Yeah,
so there is one person, good. But yeah, if you search for a company and there are phone numbers listed for that company, then why not to have a call directly from this search result over Skype.
Okay, you mentioned Kazaa, which was a world-leading product at the time. We all loved it, and we thank you guys for it. So many movies were watched thanks to Kazaa, but eventually you fought the law and the law won. And how do you go from a world-leading product to a complete failure, and then to starting again something new, which is the de facto standard in the world, Skype? How do you cross the valley of that depression?
Yeah, that's again this, in a way, failing fast and learning from the mistakes notion that yet it's often more important actually the people and the team, and then the idea will follow. So if you have great people, then you can actually do whatever with this team. And this is exactly what Kazaa did as well, that they had this team that had great synergy between themselves, and they got into trouble of all the regulations, so they just decided to sell Gaza, and that's why they were actually thinking that they had this great peer-to-peer technology, that what should they do with this technology now, and this is how Skype was born, the next iteration of the same technology.
When we were preparing for our talk, you said that there's a big difference between failing and iterating. Could you please expand on that one?
Yeah, for me, it's important that you don't fail as a company or don't fail as a team. So make sure to rather fail with your maybe initial ideas, or it's totally okay if your first idea is not the one that you later win the world. So if you look at how Twitter was born, it was exactly the same, that they, I don't even remember what exactly the company was doing, but at one day they looked at what else could they do, and then somebody just had this crazy idea that let's have this messaging service that you can just post your updates, and this is how Twitter was born. So this wasn't their initial idea, definitely. So it's the same message from me to you as well, that try to release quickly your initial idea, get some customers' feedback, look at what they are saying, and then maybe there is something else out there actually that you would you have a chance to iterate and build a new product out of there.
Okay, you have a unique opportunity to ask something the guy who's making all of our lives better. Okay, another one, the Bing guy. He's taking you to Estonia, don't worry.
I'm using Bing.
Mike, please.
Sitting on the mic.
When you listen to Microsoft's PR speeches, it seems like the big push for Skype is to get into living rooms, to the big screens, install HD cameras into each person's living room, make deal with cable companies to sell Skype along with cable internet and stuff. And you haven't talked about big screen Skype today. How important is getting into living rooms for Skype team compared to getting better on mobile?
Yeah, Skype vision actually is to be everywhere in all the devices, and both in the living room or in your boardroom. So being everywhere, and definitely being in the living room is one of Skype's missions right now as well. So in the autumn there will be new Xbox coming out, so Xbox One, and Skype is tightly integrated into Xbox now as well. And this is like our first step, kind of being there with you all the time when you are at home, that you can watch TV or play games and at the same time chat with your friends over Skype.
That's what NSA also says, being with you all the time. Thank you, Bing guy, for mentioning the living room. Yesterday, it was announced that Victoria Beckham is partnering with Skype, and it's their first big going out to the fashion industry. They are partnering in order for Victoria and her fashion brand to interact with her consumers and to bring the consumers via Skype into her personal life. Okay, two questions there.
So, hi Meelik, interesting talk, thank you. You touched on the lack of innovation at Skype. Now, can you tell me how you plan to compete against Google Hangouts, where you can have 9 people on a Hangout for free?
Yeah, our competitors definitely are not sleeping, and while we are doing this technology transition, then yes, there are lots of new startups coming to the picture, and also Google is doing much better job in this space than they used to do. So yeah, definitely Google is our biggest competitor right now. Regarding competing with free service that Google offers, then I don't know actually from the marketing perspectives how Skype is reacting to it. It's not my decision to do, but definitely where we focus is providing better audio and video quality than Google does, and that's something why I hope people would choose Skype over Google as well.
Another question in the back?
Hi, I'd like to ask about Scrum methodology, because I've seen that you've brought it to Skype. And the question is, when was that, and at what level is it? Is it only for IT development or business development in a whole?
So, Skype was introduced in Skype, I think now, 4 years ago. So I was one of the first Scrum Masters actually in Skype, and helping the teams to get through this transition. So when we first migrated the development teams over to Scrum, then it was mainly only the engineering teams that were doing Scrum. But nowadays, I think also all other support functions are doing something Scrum-like things. So they definitely have their weekly goals, and they have stand-ups every day to talk through that what they actually achieved the previous day and what they are going to do on the next day. So even though maybe the business functions haven't introduced the full-flavored Scrum, then they are still doing some pieces of it. And I think it's more about the philosophy actually, that you should just be agile and do things that make sense to you and to your team, and this is how you just get your processes to work, that doing things what make sense to you.